From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Welcome to Statewide edition of Montana This Morning on this Wednesday, October 23rd. I'm Augusta McDonnell, and I'm getting a funky signal about my mic. So go ahead, Miller, take away the weather.
What's wrong with your mic?
I don't know. Go ahead, take
Where's the
paint.
hammer? I'll fix that puppy real quick. Come here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, well, let's talk temperatures out there. It is chilly out there. You can see a lot of areas down below freezing right now. 23 in Kalispell. We got 28 in Missoula, 20 right now in Butte. Right at the freezing mark, though, in Helena. And then we see some warmer temperatures. Even though it's quite chilly out there, we've got 35 in Billings, 32 in Miles City. Baker sitting at 38. Down in Sheridan, we're right at 32. And Cody sitting at 36. Some of it's going to be a lot warmer today. We're looking at highs anywhere, from the west to the east, 50s, 60s, and even some 70s. This is ahead of another cold front that's going to be coming in, giving us some lower elevation rain and some mountain snow tonight through tomorrow morning. And then we warm right back up again across the weekend. And all eyes are on next week. Could we have an even bigger cool down on the way? I will let you know with the main forecast coming up.
All right, lots to come there.
We all set?
I think so. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
I'm getting a thumbs up.
1, 2. 1, 2.
Thanks, guys. And our top story this morning, out of Bozeman overnight. It's now been 2 weeks since 35-year-old Dustin Jersom was found murdered at a campsite near Big Sky. This story has now made news around the world. MTN's Megan Elaine sat down with the Gallatin County Sheriff for the latest on this investigation.
Saturday afternoon, October 12th, 35-year-old Dustin Mitchell Jersom was found dead in his tent while camping near Big Sky. Here at this camping spot off the beaten path remains flags marking the area of the investigation. As investigators crack open the case, the chilling details of the Moose Creek homicide have gone viral.
Well, something like this, because of it's a fairly unusual case. They are absolutely reaching out from all over the country. We've had a number of different the New York Times and Good Morning America and a few of these other places reaching out, asking us questions.
Sheriff Dan Springer says despite the cross-continental traction,
but on the same side, it is still probably a local issue. There's nothing to indicate that this is nothing but a local issue.
Sheriff Springer goes on to say that this case is unusual.
Certainly the location and the violence are the two things that are the most concerning. Very violent act in a very remote area, which is very unusual. And so those are concerning. But on the same side, I need the public to know that we've got excellent detectives working on this case. And I know that this sheriff's office has an interest in finding who committed this murder.
He understands why the public may feel unsafe.
Well, until we have more information, I understand why they feel that way. And at this time, it kind of goes back to what we've said before, is they have to remain vigilant. And if they see something suspicious, call us. Don't feel like we're too busy.
I went up to the wooded camping site where Jersom was found. It took about 50 minutes to get there from Bozeman. The sheriff says many agencies have scoured this site for evidence.
Department of Justice, Department of Criminal Investigations have been down here. Got a number of them helping us with different scene processing capabilities.
The sheriff is adamant that with the right amount of resources, they will catch the person responsible for the brutal murder of Jersom, a local Bozeman man and father.
Obviously, but the more resources we can put on it, the more information we gather, the more the public is involved, I think the better off we are and the better chance we are of solving this.
In Big Sky, Megan Elaine, MTN News.
Megan, thanks so much. And our crime news continues this morning. It's now been over a year since a shooting at the Four Aces Bar in Superior, that's northwest of Missoula, took the lives of Jenny Benson and Logan Gardner. But now Craig Walter Benson is standing trial in the double homicide. MTN's Catherine Rowley reports on day 2 of the trial in Ravalli County.
The trial continues for Craig Benson, the man who is accused of killing his wife and a bartender in Superior of August of 2023. Now, in the court proceedings on day 2, ballistics was mentioned as well as evidence, and several other experts were on the stand for the state. Tuesday's court proceedings included a number of crime scene photos as well as discussion about the ballistics of the case, especially the 10mm Glock handgun that was used and registered to Craig Benson. Agent James Ward, who investigated the case, took the stand.
That bullet that was fired into the ground and fired at Jenny when she was laying on the ground, he was able to match that bullet to that weapon.
Agent Ward testified about the video from the Four Aces bar showing Benson and his wife Jenny before the shooting. Ward testified the video indicates Craig and Jenny Benson were in good spirits. It was not shown in court. During Monday's proceedings, the prosecution is arguing Craig Benson killed his wife and bartender Logan Gardner after learning of an alleged affair. But Agent Moore testified that there is no definitive evidence of an affair.
Because I don't think there's no proof there to say that they actually had an affair. They're friends from childhood.
Other witnesses called to the stand included a former employee at the Four Aces bar who no longer works due to the trauma she experienced that night. The trial is expected to continue throughout the rest of the week. In Hamilton, Catherine Rowley, MTN News.
If you're tired of watching all the political ads on air right now, the end is finally in sight. We're now just 2 weeks away from Election Day. Roughly 25% of all absentee ballots are already returned. All this week, we're introducing you to some of the candidates vying for statewide office. In our MTN election special last night, MTN's Jill Valley sat down with the two candidates running for governor, Greg Gianforte and Ryan Busse. One big topic discussed, abortion rights.
I'm going to veto every single irresponsible anti-abortion bill and bill to attack women's right to privacy. Gianforte signs everything that comes across his desk. We will veto everything.
I personally am pro-life. I believe life is precious. And this is, Jill, let me say, this is a very sensitive issue that gets into very intimate relationship between women and their doctors. And I think we need to approach this with compassion and consensus.
You can watch our full half-hour interviews with both candidates right now on the local MTN website for your city. The search continues this morning in Lake County for a missing 54-year-old Indigenous woman who was last seen in the Buffalo Bridge area 2 weeks ago. Danette Tennis of Ronan, that's her image now on your screen, was last seen on October 8th after she became separated from friends following a vehicle breakdown, according to Lake County Sheriff Don Bell. Search efforts by several agencies have focused on the Buffalo Bridge area. Sheriff Bell reports Tennis was last seen wearing a denim jacket over a white t-shirt with denim shorts and slide shoes. She's not known to carry or own a cell phone and tends to move around the Mission Valley. If you have any information about her whereabouts, you're asked to contact the Lake County Sheriff's Office. Lewistown is on the move when it comes to population growth. There's a German manufacturing company headed to town and bringing with it some 500 jobs by 2029. As MTN's Anissa Kumar explains, city leaders are also looking at the growth policy, addressing land use, housing, and community development.
Earlier this month, the 2024 Lewistown Land Use Plan was approved, making Lewistown the first city in Montana to adopt a growth policy plan under the state's new planning laws. The first growth policy update in 17 years, the new document utilized public engagement to address the needs for housing growth, planning to develop underutilized land and resources within the city. The plan aims to add 344 units of housing by 2027 in the Western Gateway and downtown areas.
We will achieve in these close-in areas in Lewistown, by order of magnitude, more jobs, more people, and more housing under this new plan than the previous plan, meaning that we'll be able to protect open space rather than see sprawling development around Lewistown.
This 20-acre vacant plot of land within the city will be the site of about 165 units of housing.
We both need rental housing and we need single-family housing, and the people of Lewistown are interested in higher density housing.
Growth is happening in Lewistown, and the new land use plan aims to control that growth, strategizing where and how to grow while still maintaining the character of the city and protecting open space.
Let's take advantage of the existing city of Lewistown and build on its character and infill that area and grow out from there. I think the sky's the limit in Lewistown. We want to do it in a way that keeps that character, if not actually improves on it and builds on what Lewistown has been for well over 100 years.
The growth policy plan will be reviewed every 5 years for adjustments in Lewistown. I'm Anissa Kumar, MTN News.